James from Staten Island, New York, wants to talk about The Undertaker's present state and dwindling future. He says, if Undertaker does not come back for another match, he should be inducted into the Hall of Fame sooner rather than later. I'm sure Rock won't mind waiting another year if that's the case, and if Undertaker does come back, how does he go after anyone other than Brock Lesnar? Brock did break the streak, terrible as it was, and the only way I see Taker being able to wrestle one last match is avenging the loss of his vaunted streak and possibly having a better match victoriously against Brock, rather than a throwaway match with Sting who wrestles in a t-shirt. And by defeating Brock after losing at WrestleMania 30, Undertaker will prove, which he really doesn't have to, that he is so much more than the streak to this generation of fans. What would you do? I would not do a rematch between Undertaker and Brock Lesnar, I can tell you that much. Part of it is because their first match was no good, but that's not the main reason. The main reason is you don't have to rematch everybody. You know, like if a babyface loses a match, it's okay not to rematch them and do the whole even-Steven deal. In a way, I kind of like the fact that The Undertaker, lost to Brock. And Brock went over on him. He was the stronger guy. He's younger, he's stronger, he's bigger, he's faster. Physically, right now, today, he's better in every conceivable way than The Undertaker is. The Undertaker, I would say The Undertaker is now starting to show his age. Realistically, he's been showing his age now for a few years. He looked particularly old this year. And so that's why I think there's at least a chance he has wrestled his last match. I'm with you. Actually, I don't know if you actually believe this or not, but I think Undertaker has not wrestled his last match. If he does come back and they do the match with Sting, fine. I think it's a big attraction. I have no problem with that. Or you can put him in the ring with somebody else, but I would not put him in there with Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar beat him. Brock Lesnar now is I hope, being groomed, even if just for a few months, to be the champion, although I would, do it for longer. But again, you have that issue of you can't have a world champion that doesn't defend hardly at all and doesn't defend at any house shows for 9 months. 2 months, 3 months, that's one thing. I was an advocate for keeping the belt on Daniel Bryan when I thought he might be back by or before SummerSlam. Now, of course, who even knows if he's going to come back at all. If Brock wins the title at SummerSlam, and he's got one more match that he's under contract for this year, the following month at Night of Champions, which is why I think I could see him winning it and then dropping it right back to Cena in a rematch the month after, which I think would be a big mistake. But unless you can get him in for more dates, how realistic that is, I don't know. So, however they handle it, the point is, champion or no champion, Brock has to be kept practically unbeaten and kept strong through WrestleMania next year. If the idea is just to come back at WrestleMania next year to have Undertaker get his win back, I'm not a fan of that idea. Because I can't buy it, especially after the match they had this year. I just don't buy it. And I know Brock is only under contract until WrestleMania 31. It is possible whatever match he has at WrestleMania next year could be his last, or he may sign a new deal and extend it for another year or two after that. But he is only under contract until Mania next year. That could be his last match. So whoever Brock wrestles, he should lose. Brock Lesnar should lose, but not until WrestleMania next year. And the person that Brock Lesnar should lose to is a guy like a Roman Reigns. Somebody like that. That's a fresh match we haven't seen before. Reigns is going to be the future of this company. He's another big guy. He's not going to back down from Brock. He's not smaller than Brock. Maybe in some ways he is, but more or less they're about the same size. They're two big dudes that would beat you up. That's the kind of match I think that they should be looking to book for WrestleMania next year. And that's the kind of person that Brock should be losing to. Not the 50-something-year-old or 50-year-old maybe at that point, Undertaker, who looks every bit of 75. So, the fact that he lost to Brock doesn't kill his legacy or anything like that. I don't see why he has to come back and get that win back. He has to avenge that win. Brock broke the streak. He should bow his head in respect, shake the guy's hand, and if he's going to come back for another match, it should be a special attraction. And maybe it's against Sting. Maybe it's against another big star. But I would not book him against Brock Lesnar. I have no interest in seeing that rematch.